Welcome to D.B.K Casefiles. I am your host, Darren, and with me is Misha.
Hello, everybody.
She is going to be guest hosting for a while, possibly even becoming a host. So, Misha, if you want to talk about your time in the paranormal and all the other good stuff you got going on there, Miss Death Dealer.
Well, I've always kind of been connected to the paranormal ever since I was a little girl. I could see different types of entities. I can see energy. So it's just kind of progressed throughout the years. I am a Reiki master and an end-of-life death doula, as well as a psychic medium. So I just use my gifts in different situations to help people. And I really enjoy it.
I like Death Dealer better.
Death Dealer? You make me sound like a Grim Reaper, though.
Yeah, but it's got such a great ring to it.
It
Death
does.
Dealer.
Death Dealer. Yeah, but that might really scare people.
Yeah, probably. So, Misha's going to be joining us. D.B.K, she's coming on as another investigator. Hopefully, one of these days we can get some events lined up that we can actually go do.
I'm so excited.
I know we did the Bayview Cemetery, just kind of walked around. And
yes, I was telling my coworker about that and how that one spirit, we were both talking to him and he's like, no, I want to talk to the pretty one. Remember that?
I remember that.
That's funny.
The spirits knew who they wanted to talk to that day. And it was not me.
Yeah. Even just going over there again would be good. But super excited about maybe going to the Klondike and doing an event there. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I still got to go down and talk to him.
Okay.
I do know that for the 2023 Oregon Ghost Conference, I'm going to put in to be a guest speaker. And the topic will be the Klondike.
Okay, I knew you were throwing around a couple ideas, but yeah, there's so much rich history in there, and actually so many places here in St. Helens that just have a lot of paranormal activity, and you can feel it. I mean, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I can always feel a shift in the energy and kind of a little bit more dense energy here in St. Helens versus like somewhere like Portland, you know?
Yeah.
Do you find that?
I mean, if you look at the downtown district here,
yeah,
you had the lumber yards on this side, on the right side of the river, and then on the Sylvia Island, you had the shipbuilding.
Yeah.
Multiple deaths in those.
Yeah.
Then you had the downtown fire. They kind of wiped out everything. Of course, you have beautiful Sand Island.
Yeah.
That's we're down on the riverfront, by the way, people. So we're looking around. So Sand Island was never really, it's not a natural island.
Yeah.
That was just put there by a lot of the dredging companies.
Okay.
Which ironically blocks the shipbuilding.
Okay, so everything's it's almost like a big catacomb.
Like a big old conspiracy.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if Sand Island wasn't here, when they launched the ships, they would slide out towards the east end of the island. But once they started dropping off all the dredge material to create the island, the shipyards were not viable anymore. So they had to shut them down.
Yeah.
And then when the fire happened, it took a while to rebuild everything, which is where Portland and Vancouver became the shipping...
The hubs.
The hubs.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't do it here anymore.
Yeah. If you think about that, that's a lot of, even just that energy of death, just within the land and the water and stuff. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's and then how many buildings down here have been funeral parlors.
Oh yeah,
all by the same brother.
There's still a ghost at the Columbia River Funeral Home, and I even worked as a body removal tech just recently. I did that last year, towards the end of the year. like November through, no, October, September, October, somewhere around there through the end of the year. And, you know, it's still the original building.
Yeah.
And there's like a, why am I missing my words today? Like a, help me out here, Darren. What's the word where you put a crypt? So there's a crypt down there still. The original owner had made it specifically for a family member who had died, and he kept him in there for like years. And that spirit still kind of walks the funeral home. You know, every once in a while you'll still have the lights flicker, or you'll hear footsteps, or you'll see a little shadow, you know, go by you quickly, you know, things like that. So it's pretty crazy that there's still that same original crypt, like right in there, you know, and it's down where the embalming is done. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and then we've got the park down on the far end, where somebody hung himself back in 2018.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
They didn't get a whole lot of press.
Okay.
But a lot of people who go back to the park see a young man walking up the steps next to him.
Really? Ooh.
So, yeah, I mean, St. Helens just has a lot of interesting things that have happened.
Yeah.
Then you've got the hanging in St. Helens, where the son was put to death, and the father admitted on his deathbed that, oh, yeah, by the way, I killed the guy and let my son hang for it.
Oh, what year was that? That was
30s.
Okay.
I think it was the 1930s.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What
But know
a
that
terrible father! Holy hell!
To sit out in the audience and watch your son hang.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, and the site that it was actually at was where we were, our booth for the mayor race.
For really, right there?
That was the same spot.
Right there where I was doing tarot card readings?
Yep. Because the other buildings weren't there at the time. It was just a nice big wide courtyard.
Yeah.
And that's where the gallows were.
Oh my God. Creepy. I'm surprised we didn't see anything then, but we're probably so busy we wouldn't have noticed. Yeah. But yeah, that was fun times. And you're not going to run this year? Did you decide yet or not?
I have until the end of August to decide. People are already piping up.
Okay.
So it's going to be, so far it's Giggles the Clown again.
Okay.
She brings a lot of energy.
Yeah.
She's a cute little thing because of the energy she brings.
Yeah.
Then we have Mrs. Claus.
Okay.
I don't know why Christmas is coming in Halloween Town.
That's so funny.
God, who else put in?
Is Dana running again?
No. Captain Jack Sparrow won't be running. He's the ambassador.
Okay. Probably, is that in part due to the whole Johnny Depp thing?
No.
Okay.
He was. They ended up giving him the ambassadorship because he's always down here.
Yeah.
So they made him the ambassador, so that way he could just
still be involved.
Yeah. But he's not going to run because he's an ambassador. He comes down every single weekend.
Yeah.
The guy does a great Jack Sparrow impersonation.
Yes.
Entertains the kids. He kind of lives for it.
That's cool.
So, I mean, it kind of works for his end.
Yeah.
If I do run, I don't know who I'm going to run as.
Aren't you still making another costume? Aren't you working on a costume?
I'm doing a new Mandalorian character.
Cool.
Updating Mr. Black. A couple Marvel characters. I don't know if they'll be ready to go or not. So.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah, I try to be busy.
Yeah, me too.
But, we got Spirit of Halloween Town starts middle of September now.
Wow. Okay.
So it's
it's about to
They're stretching
get
it way
crazy.
out.
Okay.
But hopefully with all that, we'll become more ghost hunting.
Yes, I know. I want to get into some of these establishments and really go to town.
Well, I
Super
know
excited.
City Hall's let us in a bunch of times.
Okay.
Waiting on the okay to get back in.
Okay.
I got to go down and talk to the new owner of the Klondike.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe if I tell them, hey, I'm doing a lecture on your place, it's going to be a free hour-long commercial for you. Maybe you can let us in. We'll get some B-roll and take some pictures. It might be an afternoon thing instead of a late evening.
Yeah.
But anything to get in would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got a lot of the cemeteries and stuff around here we can hit.
Mm-hmm. You know what would be fun to do is to make like a supernatural tour of all these different places.
Yeah, I know Shoestring Players normally does that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just last year they mingle it with
the place.
With the Klondike.
Oh.
So that last year was you went to the living history with actors who would discuss certain bits of history to it.
Oh.
And then they would come down to the basement, and then they would have one more living history. Then they would come back to where we were by the abortion room.
Oh, God.
And we do our 20-minute ghost investigation.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing was we got locked down there all night long.
Fun!
While we're waiting for our next group.
Oh, wow.
So, we went down there probably about an hour before they opened to set up, quote, unquote, set up.
Right.
When we were already running an investigation.
Oh, gosh.
Then the first group comes down. We go over. I do my spiel, nothing here is scripted after this little bit that I just said. I always made sure to say nothing that you see or hear is scripted, or put on, or fake,
right?
Except for what I'm saying right now. Then we go into it, and then we do our bit. We run some equipment. We run the spirit boxes, and then we just kind of boogie out. They got 20 minutes to fill. They leave, and then we've got like another 45 minutes to an hour before the next group.
Okay.
Yeah, because by the time everybody's checked in upstairs and they go through all the other sections, A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
And then we're still doing our investigation. We're still, checking out the abortion room.
Mm-hmm. Did anything weird happen down there?
Oh, all kinds of weird things.
Tell me, because I had to work my regular job. I didn't get to go.
So when we got the main groups, everything kind of quieted down. So we ran it for 4 nights.
Okay.
First night, we got a little bit of activity. We got a older man.
Okay.
The name that I got was Frank.
Okay.
And he's an angry man.
Oh.
He's an old, bitter guy.
Shoot.
What I got was he was working in the lumber yard down here. The Klondike used to be a hotel where all the contractors would go and stay. So he was not very well liked.
Okay.
But he thought it was everybody else's problem, not his problem.
Well, of course. Usually angry people are like that.
So the vision I got off of it was that he slipped and fell and was crushed by logs.
Ooh.
But he believes that somebody pushed him. So
Yeah,
I think maybe somebody had pushed him.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I don't believe it was a full-on accident.
Yeah. I kind of have that feeling too. Yep. Oh, okay. So, excuse me, but just so you guys all know, whenever I hiccup, that's a yes from spirit. So, you might hear me doing that a lot as we go through these podcasts. So, if there's a question or something and then it's true, I will hiccup. Yep. See?
So, down in the basement of the Klondike, there is one room. It's way off in the back corner. Everybody's called it the abortion room.
Okay.
People that work there for eons called it the abortion room. So we're down there. We've got all of our gear set up. the temperature inside the abortion room is at 42.
Ooh.
It's 62 where we were.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
3 feet away. There's no reason for that room to be that cold.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we debunked it if it was, it's October, it's cold outside, but...
Well, whenever there's death, especially if it's like unexpected or you don't have control, those spirits can tend to linger there, and that would be true for an aborted fetus too. Those spirits could all just be commingling right there. Yep. So I'm not surprised that you felt those cold spots.
It was a very cold spot.
Yeah.
Some of the Steadicam video we got, you can see little things kind of moving around, but it's not dust particles, because if they're moving from left to right, and then they would do a quick turn and go from right to left, but there's no open windows.
Yeah.
Or they'll go up and down.
That sounds like
suddenly.
Orbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, of their spirits. Yeah.
And then, so we're doing all that, and we're trying to talk. Okay, so out of all the spirits in the Klondike, there is Frank, who's, I want to say he's about in his 50s, but he looks more weathered.
Yeah.
There's a woman.
Okay.
Who the story goes, and the feeling that I got was she was a prostitute.
Okay.
Working at the bathhouse, which used to be right behind the Klondike.
Okay.
So, it's a bathhouse.
Yeah.
A lot of happy endings. Well, the feeling I got off of her, and as the story goes, and we haven't been able to find anything concrete, is she fell in love with one of her clients. Got pregnant. She was going to leave and go back with him.
Okay.
Well, the madam at the bathhouse forced her to have an abortion in the abortion room.
Oh.
He, the
dad,
the suitor,
the
guy was very crushed and left her.
Oh.
And she took her own life. Because she wanted to have the baby, because she lost everything.
Yeah.
So the reports are you've got a woman who hangs out down by the washer dryer in the basement. And she's very helpful, wants to help you out with laundry. But she's also sad, and she seemed to be looking for a child.
Oh, that is so sad.
So we were trying to talk to her.
Yeah.
But Frank kept coming through.
Fucking Frank, man.
And Frank, we had one night, we had an app going that spirits can come in and talk.
Yeah.
There's only so many apps on the phone that I'll actually endorse and say, okay, we can get the same answers on a SP11 and SP7 spirit box, and we're matching them with what we're getting on this app.
Yeah.
So we're running 3 items at the same time, and we're getting answers across the board that match up with everything. So cool. I'm like, okay, I got to go with this. I got to go with this app. The app is working. It's picking up. We got 15 minutes of just constant chatter from Frank.
Oh my God.
He would it's picking up internet radio. So normally you get voices, and then it'll go quiet for a while, and then you'll get a little portion, a little this. It was 15 minutes of constant music coming in and blaring and going out, and a man talking to you, and more music, just volume intensifies, big wall of sound hitting you.
Jeez.
And we did not have a group with us at the time, so I was a little bit more argumentative than I should have been. And I'm like, no, you need to go away. We don't want to talk to you anymore.
Did it go away?
Eventually.
Okay.
Because here's the crazy part. So the next group comes down, and I'm like, okay, Frank, you just need to step away. We got business to attend to.
Right.
Well, while I've got the group off to one side, the tour guide is talking to the box. And he's asking, well, what is it that you want, Frank? Now, I don't hear what's going on over there. I'm walking the group through, showing them the equipment,
Right.
showing them different areas, showing that the abortion room is 40 degrees, everything else is 60 degrees. I look over, the tour guide leaves. The box is still going off. It's screaming obscenities.
Wow.
It's talking about this girl's chest area.
Oh my God.
And her butt. And, I mean, Frank is a crude mofo.
Dirty old man spirit.
He is a very dirty old man. And this woman was very endowed.
Aw.
And I'm like, I hope to gosh she doesn't hear this.
Yeah.
So I was trying to keep her attention.
Right.
So it's like, oh, I can hear what's going on. Okay, yeah, if you look over here to the right, don't pay any attention over there because he's going on about things he would like to do to your breasts.
Oh no. Jesus.
Oh yeah, dirty old man. So the tour guide leaves, and I'm doing that, and suddenly everything drops. Temperature returns to normal. The little bubble that we're in that was cold is now 60 degrees again.
Okay.
He comes back down and he goes, oh, well, how long has it been since it got quiet? I'm like, about 4 minutes exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching. I'm like, you were gone for 4 minutes.
The tour guide?
The tour guide.
Oh, okay.
Because he's the one that brings people, the groups in and out.
So when the tour guide left,
He went upstairs. He had asked the box,
what do you want?
what do you want, Frank? And the box said a shot of whiskey and a shot of tequila.
Okay.
So he went upstairs and poured a shot of whiskey and a shot of tequila.
Oh, good.
And everything shut up.
Good.
So he comes back down and gets rid of the group. We're closing up for the night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he asked me, how long has it been since the box has been quiet? I
Yeah.
said, well, you disappeared.
And it went quiet.
And it went, a couple minutes and it went quiet. He goes, yeah, well, I asked what it wanted. It told me what it wanted, and I poured one of each. And then everything went quiet. I'm just like, all right, well, you now know you have to do that every single night.
Right?
Because Frank sits around the bar area.
Okay.
And if you ever go in the bar area of the Klondike, there's a mirror behind the bar.
Yes.
That's not the original bar.
Okay.
The old building that was in front of it was the old restaurant portion.
Yeah, it was the kitchen, right?
Yeah,
That's
and the
what I
bar.
thought. Yeah, okay.
Everything else was kind of just rooms. Well, Frank's spirit sits there at the bar because there's a mirror behind him. He didn't trust a lot of people.
Oh.
So he's very suspicious. And there's like 2 brass bars that hang off this bar.
Okay.
So if you sit on the one that's to the furthest right, that's where he stands.
Okay.
And everybody who's ever owned the Klondike and worked at the Klondike says they'll come in the morning to open, and there will be smashed glasses. Even when they reopened it, there were still smashed glasses in the bar area. I said, all right, you're going to have to start leaving
The drinks for him.
the shots.
Mm-hmm.
Went back for the final night, so a week had gone by.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I talked to the owner. I said, have you been finding any more smashed glasses since you started leaving out the shots? He goes, no, we haven't. There's been no smashed glasses.
Wow.
Like, then you got to put those shots down every single time. Make Frank happy.
So what did they do? Did they just leave them there? Or did they re-pour it every night?
I think they basically just leave it there all night and then dump it in the morning.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm glad they found something that works.
yeah.
He's
I don't know if they're still doing it because that
He's an
bartender,
angry spirit.
he's a very bitter old spirit.
Yeah.
So you got the abortion lady. We're
Who's
trying to get her name.
grieving.
Who's
Yeah.
grieving.
Yeah.
Trying to get her name.
Yeah.
Frank, who seems to overpower everybody else.
Yeah.
Then on the second floor up, you have a little boy's spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Fred or Frederick is the name we got.
Okay.
And he also died down here on the docks.
Oh.
Was doing something he wasn't supposed to do, slipped and fell.
Oh, no.
But what we had gotten through our feeling it out, was his dad was there, so his parents were renting a room while his dad was working the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Did he fall out a window or something?
We kind of feel that maybe he walked down to the thing to see his dad or something, or was just somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, slipped and fell, and then doesn't really realize he's dead, so he went back.
Oh, okay. Looking for his dad.
Went back up to the room, and he's just been there ever since.
Oh, bless his little heart.
And then on the third floor, it's another one of those sketchy things, but there seems to be a little bit of evidence to corroborate some of it. We really need to take a black light up there.
Okay.
So the story goes that a prostitute was in a room with a client. Her husband came a-knocking.
Uh-oh.
Was very unhappy with her.
Yeah.
Pulled out a gun.
Shot the mofo?
Well, the client was using her as a shield.
Oh, God. So he shot her.
There was a standoff. One of the local ministers was called in. And then the story has two different variants.
Okay.
Variant number one is the husband shot the wife and the client. The bullet went through both.
Mm-hmm.
Version number two, the minister tried to scuffle with the husband, the gun went off, and the wife and the client were shot dead in the process. So, what was it, 2018, we did my friend did a fundraiser up there. Up on the third floor, we go into that back room. Some of the psychics are talking about, we feel a spirit of a man holding a woman in front of him, and he's scared. Well, while we're sitting there talking, and we're rolling audio tapes and everything else, I got the EVP that got me back into it. So there's a chair, there's an angel, there's some chalk, there's some rosaries. I mean, they've kind of decorated up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, somebody asked, the tour guide said, did anybody see the chalk move? And I was running in thermal vision, and I was like, I can't see the chalk, and we got a real clear EVP of a man saying, I did that.
Wow. That's so cool.
So, but, St. Helens, they don't like to air a lot of their dirty laundry. I mean, they just started admitting that there was a bathhouse behind the Klondike.
Yeah. Like, what? I don't understand that, because it's what bearing does it have now on making the town look bad? It's just what it was. It's just part of the past, the history.
You had Shanghaiing going on here.
Yeah.
The big rumor is that there's tunnels up underneath this end bank where they would Shanghai the men out of the bar.
Wow.
But no one's gonna admit to that one.
No one's gonna go digging and looking for him.
Well, it's all. Well, I'm sure they'll find something when they start redoing the waterfront down here.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna dig, they're gonna pave, they're gonna put in boat launches and sidewalks.
Yeah.
And then everything's gonna come out.
Yep.
So I mean, you got the Klondike that's got a bunch of stuff.
The courthouse.
Courthouse has got some spirits, but that's hard to get into.
Yeah.
City Hall has a bunch of spirits. City Hall actually has a little girl spirit upstairs and a man spirit down in the city council chambers.
Oh.
And the man down there is little foul mouth. We got that on video. We were running the spirit box and we're asking who's here, and some of our guys were just throwing out a bunch of names.
Uh-huh.
And it basically said, you know who the F I am.
Wow.
And then told my brother to F off.
Wow.
And then we got the little girl upstairs who we got a lot of reaction with, but she only likes women.
Okay.
Men kind of scare her. Then across the street, you've got the old Masonic building.
Yep.
You've got three spirits downstairs. We were running what was called Paranormal Adventures at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a little girl that was talking to us, and you got two other guys that were talking to us. And we were able to verify that one of the men was on a boat that got hit and sank in the front river here. Because all the living people were taken to the 2Cs building.
Okay.
To get warm, medical attention. Yeah. It was called the Swan. It was a pleasure tug. So they would, it's like the Portland Spirit.
Yeah.
So they tug you all the way down to Astoria. So the tug was behind pushing the barge.
Okay.
You dance, you have a good time, you drink, you eat. They take you all the way down, they bring you all the way back to Portland. Well, one night it hit another boat head on, right in front of Sovie's Island.
How the hell? Was nobody driving it? How does that happen? You have all this time to see a boat coming right at you.
And they missed it. They sank the Swan. And a bunch of, it's like 7 people died.
Oh.
And 4 of those 3 bodies were never found.
What?
Yeah. And it was another Frank. The guy's name was Frank that we got inside the Old Masonic building.
Mm-hmm.
Nice guy. Very helpful.
Good.
And you've got another guy, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, who's just a jerk, sits in the back corner and just,
wow.
Just another grumpy old man. Then you got a little girl.
Uh-huh.
And that used to be the Ross Brothers embalming and casket building.
Oh, okay.
That was that downstairs
Yes, that
area.
was that room. Yeah. So Holly, when I worked at the funeral home, was telling me all about that. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, so we're wrapping up the night. We're doing, we're reviewing evidence. We had like an hour to play around with so we can walk them through, set up the investigation, and then evidence review. Well, while we're doing evidence review, we've got a big screen TV. We're listening to EVPs. We're going over everything. Well, Bill goes ahead and tells a dad joke.
Okay, do you remember? You got to tell me. What's the dad joke?
I don't remember what it was.
Oh, dang it.
This was years ago. It was one of those throwaway jokes that was just
so
impromptu.
Stupid, it was funny.
Everybody kind of chuckled, ha 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 ha. And we hear a little girl, about 5 or 6, laughing her head off in the back of the building.
Oh my God, I love that.
Everybody heard it.
That's so cute.
We did have I don't really want to call them security guard, but they were in charge of making sure nobody came in and out and messed with us. He ended up going around to the back of the building, because there's a parking lot back there.
To see if anybody was over there.
Make sure all the doors were locked. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. There ain't nobody here.
Well, no little girl should be up laughing at that time anyways.
Well, Wendy was.
So
when it was a haunted house, the last couple of years, people would come over to the mayor booth.
Yeah.
And I do my big spiel about haunted location of St. Helens.
Yeah.
And I said, well, if you go to the haunted house, go towards the back of the building, say, hi, Wendy. One person actually came back and said, yeah, I walked back there. We're going through. And I remembered, hi, Wendy. And she got touched.
Wow.
Something touched her on her side.
I love that.
And she said it felt like a little kid's hand.
Aww.
Just touching her on the side.
So
like,
cute.
tag, you're it.
Oh, I love that.
And she had to come over and tell me. And I'm like, well, that's Wendy for you.
Yep. Oh,
She's
that's
a playful
so
little
sweet.
thing.
I love that.
And then upstairs in the old Masonic room, you've got a shadow person that was following us when we were up there. So we'd be on one side of the building. You could see it off to the other side. And everybody saw it.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
Other places we'd like to get into sometime and check out.
Yes. Yes.
But we are going to wrap up this one. We're going to keep Misha around for a part 2. And thanks for tuning in. And tune in to part 2. We'll cover probably more crazy things that have happened in St. Helens.
Bye for now.
See ya.